Alright. Well, we didn't have any Hoover Dam collapse during the Super Bowl. I was kind of wondering if it might happen. Um, since last night, I've kind of been pondering the idea about this repeat game with the 49ers. So obviously, Super Bowl 58, and then the repeat game that was earlier, which was Super Bowl 54. Because there was an interesting score in Super Bowl 54. I might have it up here. Super Bowl 54, we had this 2031. Okay, or if you were to read this number backwards, 13-2, or you could transpose that into another number, I suppose. Is that even the right word? I don't even know what word I'm using here. But you could convert that into another. You could convert that into a date of the 13th of February. So where I'm going with the idea here is this whole idea of returning home, okay, finishing the voyage. You know, Dave Bowman's finishing the voyage. He's coming home now. And that's what the Chiefs will be doing. Actually, they'll be doing their parade thingamajob Bobby thing on the 14th in Kansas City. So Valentine's Day, the day that the arrow shoots through the heart, i.e., you know, the arrow comes home. Okay, the whole reason why I was kind of, you know, to begin with the whole, like, you know, well, you will have heard me mention in passing videos, you know, oh, I think probably going to be the Chiefs. Didn't really have a clue who the other team was going to be. So I kind of half-assed a few guesses. But actually, if what I'm thinking will play out now plays out, then it makes perfect sense. But then again, this might not play out. But anyway, what I'm thinking is this returning home thing, because I don't know if you noticed in the adverts on that in the game, there was a lot of references to the home, you know, coming home. Obviously, we've got Mahomes, and again, what was I going to say? This whole idea of returning home is returning back to the start. So we're going from the end is now will become the beginning again. Okay, so the alpha and omega type situation again. Yeah, the beginning is the end. So this idea of returning home is the big reset date, if you like. So again, with the idea of the beginning is the end, they've just completed this like triple crown, holy trinity right now. You know, Mahomes has got 3 rings. Okay, so 3 rings, 3 crowns. Okay, so triple crown or the holy trinity, if you like. Now, so this first game they played, Super Bowl 54, right? Not the first. It's obviously not the first Super Bowl game they've ever played, but this within this triple crown, right? Super Bowl 54, the score. Okay, so this 13th of February date that I'm getting out of here. This is the beginning, and the beginning is the end. Okay, 13th of February. Now, the reason why I go on about the 13th of February is because it's one of my big dates for the Hoover Dam. It's in the dollar bill, and it's the start of Lucas numbers. It's the start of that sequence in the chart of Lorraine. Let me go to it and show you. Yeah, 213. It's the start of this sequence right here. Okay. What's interesting about this sequence right here, right now, is that we've got the Mickey Mouse Pluto amalgamation, which is, you know, it's pretty much at the center of this thing, so to speak. We've got the 29 on here as well, but that really, this 29 really here is really between these two numbers here. Okay, so basically anything, all this stuff right here is extremely important, okay, to do with balance. Now, the reason why our sort of midpoint has sort of shifted over to this column here is it's a little bit like the Fibonacci sequence. It's almost like the metaphysical numbers have built into them perfect balance. I don't know if that makes sense to people, but it's almost like the metaphysical side of reality, the consciousness that is controlling this whole projection, this whole reality, right? That consciousness is working at a state of true balance, and so therefore whenever we're dealing really with the true metaphysical, we're dealing with true balance. I don't know if that really makes sense, but anyway. I'm just going to sort of whiffle waffle through some of these numbers, but that's where I'm going with the idea that this Super Bowl that we've just seen is a reference back to a twin game, again, to another game, the same game essentially, back in 2020. Okay, and we had the whole. There was an interesting number jump as well with. Oh, there was an interesting number jump with Kobe's death, because if you do that same number jump that I've been talking about, which is the 3, 2, 1, 2, 3 number jump, this is our Hoover Dam number jump that connects Hoover Dam birthdays to both 9/11 of last year and this Super Bowl date this year, this 2/11 date, okay? But if you take and go from Kobe, which is 1/26, what was it, 2020? And if you take and go from that date backwards, it goes to, I can't remember what year, but anyway, it does go to, I'm pretty sure it goes to the 14th of February. So again, that was interesting with this idea of Valentine's Day being referenced with that back jump. So anyway, you would go from his death date and jump backwards 32,123 days, and it will take you to, I'm pretty sure, unless I'm completely wrong, I'm pretty sure it took me to a February the 14th date, which is again, Valentine's Day. And yeah, I was kind of expecting somehow some kind of reference with Valentine's Day, because of, I mean, obviously it's in like Back to the Future. They've got the Cupid store there, but there's obviously that reference to the arrowhead shooting through the heart, and the heart is essentially, it's the balance point of the whole body. Essentially, it really is the metaphysical Vesica Pisces within us all, if you like. But anyway, what do I want to say about this? Kind of like when I was thinking about this whole thing with the Super Bowl, I was, apart from being dead set on the Chiefs anyway, because it's the local team, and it kind of pains me to watch football, but when I do watch it, because of all the bad calls and I mean, it does look so rigged in certain games. It's unbelievable, but I honestly, for me, all the bad calls in a lot of sports that I watch, it just makes it painful to watch, and so I don't really, just, I don't know, I don't know what to say about it really, other than it's not enjoyable sometimes to watch sports. But the whole thing with with the Mickey Mouse Club, with the clock tower, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse here, this whole thing with the upward arrow, I'm like, I was kind of dead set on the Chiefs for going, just for this reason, and the fact that Mahomes his numbers, his birthday numbers are right here, and his shirt number, of course, is right here. And so, and then Travis's is right here, and so it's just like his number is right here, 87, tied in with Mahomes, and so it's just like it's one of those things, you're like, I got a feeling about it, As for the other team, I couldn't really pinpoint, you know, who was really going to be going with them, but obviously it makes perfect sense now if this whole thing is about encoding this date again for the Hoover Dam. I'll show you in the dollar bill in a minute why this is in the dollar bill for new people, this date. Okay, and there are several number jumps that you can do through here with this set of numbers, which are super duper interesting in terms of relationships to Christmas and other certain numbers in the year, and 9/11. And obviously that's all in my back catalogue, but there's interesting number jumps that you can do within this set of numbers through the calendar year. I'm just going to leave it at that. What we saw though on the day, and again with the 49ers last year, let me just briefly mention this, and I've got a number jump in there somewhere which is pretty interesting as well, with the 94 days. Ties back to the dollar bill as well. Hopefully I'll remember to do it. But 49 last year was Easter, and it also happened that in the dollar bill there is a 122-day jump. This is important because in the dollar bill there's also a 155-day jump, and this reversal of the 2 and the 5, we'll talk about this in a minute. It's not really a reversal, it's a mirroring, which I guess is a reversal, but it's important, the symbolism of this, of the 25 and 52. Okay, for the cup of Christ, 25. Okay, I don't know how many times I'm going to do this, but 25. I don't know if you noticed that, but that's a wine glass sitting upside down. Okay, 52 is a wine glass up the other way. Okay, and that wine glass is the cup of Christ, or potentially could also be the bastardized version of the cup of Christ, the matrix that we're stuck in. So you could be stuck within a false system, and one of these sets of numbers could be referencing exiting the false system. Okay, as to it could be referencing, being within a divine system and being outside a divine system, depending on the context of the story you're looking at. But anyway, 49 happened to be Labor Day this last year, 2023, which is interesting because that number jump that's in the dollar bill with the 122 takes us to 49. Every year it takes us to 49, but this last year 49 happened to coincide with Labor Day, and I think that's on purpose. I think that's the reference that Labor Day is all about. It's about being reborn, and that 49 obviously tied in with Easter. So God knows if I'm even saying all this stuff right, but where do I want to go from here? This is already a mess. I just want to make a couple of little notes before we get too far into the actual score. And actually, let's just do the score now, because I had mentioned in my last sort of talking about it, I'd said, oh, it would be interesting if it was these numbers here. This was what I was kind of thinking, just because we're moving on down this line here, and I was thinking, oh, it'd be, probably I was thinking that the 49ers would be at 14 points at halftime and in the lead, obviously that 14 there ties in with this 9 here, so this would have been a nice score for the 49ers to be a couple of scores up, at half time. And then after half time, my thought was the Chiefs were going to come back and it would get to like 20 points. They would get to 20 points in front, and then boom, lights out. Something would happen, okay, and the game wouldn't get finished. Well, that didn't happen. But what was interesting was this set of numbers didn't play out, right? But this is the craziness of this, right? So the set of numbers that did play out was this set of numbers right here. It was 22, okay, to 25. Now, what was I just saying about the number jumps in the dollar bill with the 2, 2, and the 2, 5, and everything else, And again, this 25 is the 25 is the cup this way up. Okay, the cup is, the wine is coming out of the cup here. Okay, the cup is emptying. 25. It's the outer bullseye. Okay, so this is kind of interesting that this set of numbers sort of showed up, And what is also interesting is you look at the cross-reference. I like to cross-reference this like a times table chart. We've got a 5, 5, which again, 5 5s are 25. And we've also got this 10 reference here, a 10, 5 reference. 5 10s are 50 is the bullseye. So that's it's super important, the number 50 for the bullseye, because essentially that is, the metaphysical is the number 5, okay, and it is the O as well. It's the metaphysical is the Vesica Pisces. It is the empty space that you can't put your finger on, whereas the physical is the 1. Okay, so this is why, again, 105 days from 9/11 is Christmas. It's super important. But anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, there's 50 here. Yeah, okay, so 50 and 51 and 15, all really important numbers with the birth of Christ. Okay, and what do we have here? We have 5 5 5 10 references. Well, the only other, let's cross-reference in the table with this 5 5 and 5 10. Well, the only other number that we can, well, there's two other numbers that we can cross-reference, and it's basically these two numbers here, and that would be 570 or 57, which is again, I can't remember what the player's name was, but there was an injury with 57, I think, number 57. There was also an injury with number 55, which was Greenlaw. I'm sure that was Greenlaw, and I said, you just can't write this stuff. Greenlaw, like the law of the matrix, like the legal system, yeah, like the corrupted version of the metaphysical, the Greenlaw. You could also argue that it's the law of the land, as a law of nature being green law, but I'm looking at it as green law is man-made law, like man-made matrix law, like the legal system, and that thing departed. Okay, so that's the corrupt. 55 represents the metaphysical. Now if the metaphysical is not kept balanced, or is not kept true, then you end up with a corrupt version of that. You end up with a matrix. So anyway, we've got, but I don't know I can't remember what the guy was that was number 57. Somebody knows who that was that went off. I think there was a couple of 2 or 3 injuries. Anyway, 510 here. This is our cross reference again back to the 10. 510, 510, and look at what the number is. So with this 510 reference, if we look here and look down in the 5 column, we have let's write it out. We have 255, and then if we look over here for the cross reference, it's 225. It's a mirror. They're mirror numbers again. Super duper important. So again, with the mirror numbers, obviously it's easier to pick out when you write them like this, you know, disregard the 0 there. When you write them like this, now it's easy to pick out a score, you know, pretty easy to pick out the score, especially when Greenlaw left, the number 55 left during the game. So, I don't know. What do I say about it, you know? I was kind of stabbing in the right direction there, wasn't I? With those numbers there, not too terribly far off on that one actually. I thought, you know, and I thought I was pretty good on the idea of you know, the Chiefs going, just simply because of this though, more than anything, just simply because of the arrowhead, the pyramid. Okay. Let's go through a couple of tabs. Anyway, we've done that one. What have we got up here? Oh, you can't write this stuff, but who wins it for the Chiefs essentially? Now there was a few points up to here where Mahomes had to do some stuff to keep him in the game, but essentially he passes it the ball, the Vesica Pisces, the thing that represents balance, to the hard man. Okay, I don't know what to say about it. Yeah, the phallic symbol, the erect phallic symbol, represents the physical side of reality. The physical side of reality built into this world is a set of rules in the physical side of reality that can't be changed. Yeah, God has made it so we can't change those rules. Those rules are there for us to interpret and to live by. Unfortunately, most people are incapable of interpreting those rules, and most people do not live by those rules. And that's a shame, you know, because if everybody did that, the world would be a wonderful place. But people don't do it, and you know that's where we end up in a bad place. But the hard man is a reference to not only the resurrected man, not only the man that's now full of blood, if you get what I'm saying, you know, living and breathing again, but it's also a reference to the hard side of nature, to the physical side of nature, to the stone, you know, which is the Ten Commandments, those rules that are built into nature. So the hard man is the guy that follows those rules. Yeah, you do it the hard way or the easy way. Well, the easy way is the Matrix, because the Matrix dishes up everything you want. Okay, it screws you in the process, but it gives you everything you want. You know, the hard way, you will get what you want, but you have to work for it. And you don't really have to work for it, because if you pick the correct path, it's one of those strange things. It's not easy, the correct path, but the reward is, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but the reward is greater than the effort put in. It's a bit like in nature, you know, when animals just do what they're programmed to do. It's not hard work for them to just live how they're supposed to live. You know, the whole system works. Anyway, I'm waffling. This guy, Hardman, number 12. Okay, so we'll do the little thing with him and Mahomes, right? An important thing to understand with the regular old number line here, if you total up numbers up to the number 5, you're going to come to the number 15. That's interesting. That's Mahomes's number. Now, if you add on this extra 6 and total up to this point, guess what you get? You get 21. Okay. what we're seeing here is we're seeing a mirror reflection again. Okay, 15 and 21. If you read to the center of this line, read to the center line, this is really, you could interpret that as a 12 and a 15. Now, Mahomes' number is 15, and he passes the Vesica Pisces. And in fact, that mirror line is really the Vesica Pisces. He passes that to a mirror of 15, to the number 12, hard man. So I mean, the symbolism there is just absolutely nuts. I probably should have gone through. I probably should have gone through some of this stuff before the game. I might have had an inkling that guy would have had something important, some important role during the game. I may have mentioned that, but I probably wouldn't have been able to. I probably wouldn't have got that right. But I probably definitely. I don't know half of the team's names, so I'm always asking my daughter. She's on top of everything when it comes to football. But anyway, we got that interesting, I don't know, interesting idea there. So with the ball and the Vesica Pisces and all what that represents, and winning the game. Okay, now let's get rid of that jazz, and then let's go. And what other numbers do we have? Okay, so the other thing to note as well with the score of 22. 25, and also Mahomes' number with 15, and the 12 and the 15 is, again, these are all numbers to do with Christmas. They're all just anagrammed numbers of Christmas, if you like. You can pick out Christmas in here, or you can take part of this and mix it with part of that, and you can make Christmas. So that's important as well, this whole idea of rebirth, right? Not to mention, let's look at this as well. Hang on, let's go to Hardman now. He's 25 years old. Again, I'm lost for words. Also, if we go to where he's born, Bowman, Georgia. I mean, come on. Yeah, George, obviously the St. George's Cross, the Red Cross. What else do I want to say about it? Bowman, Dave Bowman. Okay, the guy that has to return home. I mean, I just don't want to say about it. It's just so the links are so ridiculous, man. I mean, it's just absolutely nuts. I mean, did I mention this? Because I'm thinking, obviously because it's Chiefs. The Chiefs are the home team. For me, I'm thinking, yeah, that they'll probably win it. Because I was kind of up in the air, like who's going to win, and I kind of was thinking, well, it doesn't really matter. The story will play out, either way, right? But I kind of would root for the home team. And again, it's kind of interesting that it's my home team. Because as soon as I walked in here to watch the game, I said, "Oh, we're wearing home colours." I'm like, "That's it. We're going to win this." Simply based, well, that's what I said to my daughter. I said, "This is simply based off of the fact that we've got our home shirts on, they've got their away kit on. We're home, yeah." And this is Dorothy making her way home. I mean, it's just absolutely nuts. Anyway, so I was like, "That's it. We're going to win on this one because of that." Now, if I'd been thinking as well with the score, the other thing with the score was, I've mentioned this before, but in the clock tower in Back to the Future, these 4 pillars here, okay, that are in the clock tower, the 1111, right? The 10 is formed between that. This is the Vesica Pisces right here, but that Vesica Pisces, that balance point, is another doorway. Is the doorway? Yeah, is the fifth element, right? The doorway is the negative space there. You don't actually see a column, but there is a space for a column, if you like. If I've been thinking, you know, in Back to the Future, the thing that Biff and them smash into is this area right here. Not Biff, Griff. If I've been thinking, that should have been my pick for the numbers. I probably still would have got the numbers wrong. I probably would have guessed 20 to 25, not 22 to 25. You know, just simply because that top number is a 20 there. So I wouldn't have got it right anyway, but if I was thinking correctly, I should have picked this set of numbers. But who the hell knows what to pick, you know. It's always easier after the fact when you can see what's a little bit clearer what's going on with the storyline. What else do I want to mention about this bloody thing? So I don't think it's over yet. I think we've got another, and I don't think, to be quite honest, and actually today would have been a great day for Madonna again, because again we're on one. If you flip the date around for today, the 12th, and stick the 2 at the end for February, we were on another 122 day for Madonna. That would have been pretty darn interesting as well. The day that split those two things. So, and I would expect, like now I'm thinking, you know, if it's going to happen if the Hoover Dam's still going to occur this year, I don't know, it probably won't, but if it was still to occur in alignment with what's going on here, I would think that maybe we're going 213 into 14, especially with the reference to the clock with the 14. So this idea of the midnight hour, and also the other interesting thing about that is that what ties into that 14 there is the 519, and again 11:59 takes us into the next day. So I'm thinking, you know, 213, 11:59 into 214. Okay, and again, you know, that's what I'm thinking. So, you know, like today would have been a great day for Madonna to croak. I don't think she's going to croak now. But anyway, what else did I want to say about this whole thing? It is also interesting with that in the dollar. I'll show you the dollar bill here in just a second. But with that dollar bill number, it's basically this number again, which is JFK's death date, but it's basically re-referenced with the dollar bill, and obviously that big number jump from 55, which is also referenced with the green law thing in the Super Bowl, that 122 days jump that takes us to 49. But this 122 again, now I'm thinking, it is super interesting with today's date of the 12th of February being part of that sequence to get from one place to the next place, if you know what I mean. It's getting from this place to this place. Yeah. So I don't honestly think it'll happen until the night time, into the 14th, if it was going to happen. You know, if that arrowhead was going to finally shoot through there. But anyway, wiffly waffling again. Also, I will say, that the bullseye, you know, when you amalgamate the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and the dartboard, you know, this 14 and 50, again, it's kind of interesting with the 49 as being precursor to 50. Yeah, 49 to 50. Yeah, and also, you know, the 14 being the 50 here at the center of the table. So I'm thinking it would have to be the midnight hour on the 13th into the 14th. Just thinking out loud there, but what else did I want to do? Let's see what else I got in here. Blah blah blah. We did the score. I'm not even doing anything about the halftime show, but the whole idea. I know people have probably mentioned this with Usher, the idea of ushering something in, or you have the usher. Yeah, I mean you usher people into the wedding. Yeah, that's what I think about ushers quite a bit. But yeah, you're ushering in something. It's us and her, and I'm not going to talk about 57. Let's do some of these number jumps real quick. And we won't worry about Usher for right now. I might come back and do a decode on that some other time. There was a ton of stuff in it though, but let's just concentrate on the number jumps. The 105, the importance of 105 again, 9/11 through to Christmas. If we go from a 131 date, like what I've been talking about with Madonna and the 131 on the train and Back to the Future, we're going from Halloween here, 105 days to 213. So that I thought was really interesting with the tie back, and also remember that 100 that connection back with Madonna is that 131 days from her birthday is Christmas. So it all ties together. What else we got in here? Let's go through some of this stuff. 9/11 2001 through. Okay, we've got through to 213. We've got the 8190 days, which again is not only Madonna numbers but also Matthew Perry numbers with Friends and the End and all that stuff. No, we're not doing that. What we got here? Oh, this is super interesting because this whole thing with Pluto. The 1117 is very much to do with, obviously this ties into 322 this year as well, and of course this date is 213 is the twin date. What is interesting about this, 1117 is this twin date here. It's 88 days apart. This is the date when this is the Pluto Christmas date. This is the balance between the two orbits of Pluto, right? This 1117 2023. This is the date. So this is like the Christmas day or the birth of Pluto, if you would like to call it that, right? Now, what is interesting is 88 days on from then, when this baby hits 88, and remember, Einstein, the dog, is in the DeLorean when Doc says that, yeah? Pluto, the dog, is in the DeLorean, yeah, that is running on plutonium at that point. And in fact, that's the only that isn't that the only time it, oh no, obviously Marty runs on plutonium as well. So, but well, I'm getting sidetracked again thinking about the whole thing. But so this 1117 is that kind of birthday, and when this baby hits 88, you're going to see some serious shit. Yeah, we're 88 days on, and it's 213. Okay, so I don't know what to say. Not only is that a twin date, but it's 88 days on. I mean, it's important, isn't it? I don't know. Okay, that was our 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, and that was going back from this date this year, which I thought was interesting. Just went back to a 33, 1936. So the 33, the 3rd of March, I thought that was really significant as well, to be a 33 date. Okay. So I thought, well, where does that even go to, you know? And what have I got here? Oh, that was Kobe. Okay, now you can see his. It was 1932. Okay, so 214. Okay, so that's again interesting, and I don't know what else I've got up here. 211 through to was 48 days back to Christmas. If we go 49 is today, and then so it's 50 days. It's the bullseye back to Christmas. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there for this one. That's probably way too long and too wiffly waffly. But the ritual, you know, with the whole thing, I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. I think I'm going to leave it there. Yeah. I don't think there was anything really else that was pressing to the thing. He said he's got it written down in here. I watched the after game thing, and they asked him about the touchdown, and he's just like, "Oh, I blacked out, blacked out." If the Hoover Dam breaks down in some fashion or format, or blows up, or gets a hole in it, or there's an earthquake that disrupts the whole system as well, blackout. That's what Vegas is going to see. And I mean, if you look at this, you know, look at the actual sign here. Where the hell's the bigger picture? You know, LV, Las Vegas, is the levee. The dam is the levee. And here we've got the triple, again, the triple crown, again, is the three towers resurrected. Okay. Pretty mental, really. In fact, look at this picture with the two helmets and the thing coming up, the two bulls and the trophy. Kind of actually looks a bit like a sort of a crown there as well. Interesting. You know, you could spend all day going through the bloody symbolism. I'm gonna leave it there. I think there's probably a million people doing decodes on this stuff right now, but I doubt there's many people doing that decode. I'll tell you one more thing though. Let me show you the significance of the 213, right, in the dollar bill. For new people that haven't seen any of the dollar bill stuff, what do I want to do here? File, let's do new. So for people that haven't seen any of the dollar bill decodes, there's a ton of stuff in the back catalog, right? But let's just for now, let me just let me just show you what we're dealing with, right? Because we're dealing from a date over here on this side of the dollar bill, and then we're jumping over to a date on this side of the dollar bill. Okay, so that's what we're doing, and let's go ahead and I'll show you how that works. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to count leaves and berries. Okay, if you see the pattern here, so we're going to start on this side. We're going to count 2 up here. Okay, and then we've got 5 leaves here. Okay, and then we've got 4 berries. 1, 2, 3, 4. Difficult to see, but if you get a big image, Wikipedia, this is off of Wikipedia, this image. We've got 254. Now the 254th day of the year is 9/11. Okay, then we're going to count the jump that's in the middle here. So we've got 1 berry. Okay, 1 berry, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves, and then we've got another 5 leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's pretty simple so far. We're going from that number there, we're going 155 days, and it's going to take us to 1, 2, and then there's 1 berry down here, and then there's 3 leaves. 1, 2, 3. So it's that simple, you know. Ends up taking us from 230. Well, either way you go, it's 213 through to 9/11. Okay, except the actual jump goes You have to go from 9/11 onwards to get back to that date. But 155 is kind of interesting because it splits up with another 155, and I think that, if I remember rightly, it takes you to the 18th of July maybe, and then that's 55 days on through to 9/11. I might be getting that completely wrong. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've looked at it. But it's interesting with the 55 jumps, the 15 and the 55. So that's what I wanted to show you right there. There is a ton of stuff in here. If you're new, that is well worth going back into my back catalogue and kind of looking through. All the dollar bill stuff is really good. Here's the dam. You follow the fold marker right here, and you come across with a straight line. You come across, okay, back to this other fold marker right here. And what you end up with is this. You end up with a dam right here, okay. What I'm showing you right here is the dam inside this circle here, and this is the, again, this is the water, the ruffles of the tie, Austin Powers tie coming over. This is the water coming over the dam, okay. But that's in various other folds. So, but I just wanted to kind of highlight that stuff. We just had his birthday. 2/11 is right here, okay. I don't know. It's going to be interesting anyway. I don't think the ritual's done quite yet. Let's wait and see another couple of days just to see if anything does happen before I completely write this one off. All right, this year off, I should say. But yeah, we're going to leave it there. There's a ton of interesting other number jumps as well, but I've just got what I've got. Thanks for watching. Catch you on another one soon. Cheers. Bye. Oh, I forget my head if it wasn't screwed on. I also wanted to mention his birthday, March the 12th. It's a 3-1-2, which is Lucas backwards, or if you move the March over, it's a 1-2-3. So that was pretty significant as well. And also 1998, the age of 25, but the 198 as well is pretty important as well, with all that stuff at the middle of the table there for a year. So anyway, just wanted to mention that as well. Alright, cheers, bye.